Reece Walsh, the superstar fullback, the face of the Broncos, the electrifying spark every fan can't stop talking about, was he just involved in an accident after the clash against the Knights? Yes, you heard that right. Rumours started swirling the moment the final whistle blew, whispers of flashing lights, urgent voices, and panic around one of rugby league's brightest stars. What really happened to Walsh after that bruising contest? Tonight, we separate fact from fiction, and the truth might just shock you. Now, let's set the stage. The Broncos had just come off a tough, physical battle against the Newcastle Knights. Emotions were running high, adrenaline pumping, and Walsh, as always, had been in the thick of it. His speed, his flair, his passion, it was all on display. But then, as players began leaving the field, chatter began to spread. A rumour hit social media like wildfire: Reece Walsh had been involved in an accident. Fans in the stadium claimed they saw flashing lights near the tunnel. Some swore they saw Walsh being attended to in a rush. Others whispered of an incident outside the ground, maybe a collision, maybe a fall, maybe something even more serious. The timing couldn't have been more dramatic. Just minutes after carving up the field, Walsh's name was suddenly trending for all the wrong reasons. And here's the part that made it even scarier: no one knew if he was okay. For fans, it was a terrifying blur of confusion. Was this the end of the night for Walsh, or something much, much worse? Clips began circulating online, blurry videos showing people rushing, snippets of sound, a car door slamming, a voice yelling out. Some said it was Walsh. Some said it wasn't. But by then, the rumour had already exploded. Think about it, the Broncos' main man, the heart of their finals hopes, suddenly the centre of a frightening mystery. It had all the ingredients of panic. A star player, a high-stakes game, and an unclear situation unfolding right before fans' eyes. And the question everyone was asking was simple: what happened to Reece Walsh? Stick with me, because what I'm about to tell you clears the air once and for all. All right, let's clear it up. Yes, there was a commotion after the game. Yes, fans did see flashing lights and Broncos staff moving quickly. But here's the truth: Reece Walsh was not seriously injured, and he was not involved in any life-threatening accident. What actually happened? According to reliable sources close to the Broncos camp, Walsh was caught in a minor scare, not a car crash, not a medical emergency, but a brief incident involving a knock he took late in the match. After the full-time whistle, Walsh was dealing with soreness, and staff wanted to act quickly to manage him. The flashing lights? That was part of the post-game medical crew doing their job. The rush in the tunnel? Standard procedure when a star player needs attention, and fans misinterpreted what they saw. But here's the thing. The rumour spread so fast, and the footage looked so dramatic, that by the time the Broncos clarified it, social media had already spun the story into chaos. And let's be honest, it's not the first time Reece Walsh has found himself at the centre of wild headlines. From suspensions, to controversial moments, to jaw-dropping brilliance on the field, Walsh is never far from the spotlight. This time, though, the so-called accident was far less serious than fans feared. In fact, sources confirmed he was smiling and chatting with teammates not long after the scare, and the Broncos have reassured supporters there's no long-term issue. But here's where it gets interesting: why does a story like this blow up so fast when it involves Walsh? Because he's not just a player, he's a headline machine. Everything about him screams drama. The hair, the pace, the swagger. He's the type of athlete who draws eyes every second he's on the field. Fans live on the edge with Walsh. 1 second he's slicing through defenders like they don't exist, the next he's barking at referees, or brushing shoulders with rivals, or finding himself in the middle of controversy. He's unpredictable, magnetic, and sometimes a lightning rod for rumours. Think about his career so far. From his early days with the Warriors, bursting onto the scene as a teenager, to that highly publicised move to the Broncos, Walsh has always carried a sense of chaos around him. Even his State of Origin debut was pure drama, a mix of brilliance and backlash, with fans divided on whether he was ready, but no one able to look away. And let's not forget the suspension saga. Walsh's run-ins with referees, his fiery competitiveness, and that infamous ban for foul language, moments that painted him as a player who lives on the emotional edge. So when fans saw flashing lights, when they saw a bit of commotion, of course the first name that came to mind was Walsh. That's the price of being the face of the game. Every move gets magnified. Every stumble becomes a storm. But here's the kicker. Walsh isn't just drama. He's also brilliance. Pure, jaw-dropping brilliance. The kind of player who can change a game in a single step. And that's why the idea of losing him, even for a night, felt so terrifying to Broncos fans. Because without Walsh, everything looks different. Now, let's talk about the big picture. If this had been a serious accident, what would it mean for the Broncos? This isn't just about losing a player, it's about losing the player. Reece Walsh is more than a fullback. He's the link, the spark, the weapon that turns half chances into points. He makes defenders hesitate, he opens space for the wingers, and he takes pressure off Adam Reynolds. Without him, the Broncos would be forced into reshuffle mode. Selwyn Cobbo could shift, yes. Maybe Jesse Arthurs could step up. But would it carry the same impact? Would the attack still click the way it does when Walsh is flying out the back?